The gravity rise stand that comes with this Bosch 4100 is very interesting. It's very easy to use, even for one person. Release the legs, rock it down, and it locks into position and it's ready for use. The front panel of the Bosch 4100 is very much like any other table saw. It has the on-off switch located up front. It uses a hand crank wheel for blade height adjustments. But for bevel adjustments, rather than having a separate hand wheel on the side, we just loosen this locking lever, move the saw to whatever degree we want for the bevel cut, and lock it. And that's all there is to it. The work table can be expanded by just loosening the locking lever, pulling the table out to whatever width we want, and then locking the lever again. We can get up to 25 inches of cut width between the fence at its maximum setting and the blade. The Smartcard system on the 4100 is truly modular. It has independent side leaves, meaning that they can move separately depending on how wide the wood is. They also can be flipped up and using a little spring catch to hold them up for measuring cut widths. When we make a narrow cut, like a trim cut, only the side with the wood under it rises up. The other side stays down and keeps the blade protected. Because of the modular design, we can remove individual components of the Smartcard. To remove the blade guards, we just flip this lever up, lift that system off of the splitter. The anti-kickback pawl is also on a push-button mount. The Riving Knife or splitter serves as a mount for the blade guard and anti-kickback pawls, and it also fits in a tool-free mount. We just flip this lever up and we can move it down to another position. With the Riving Knife in this position, its top edge is just below that of the saw blade, so we can use this for non-through cuts like making grooves and such. With the Riving Knife in its lowest position, it's essentially stowed, so it's out of the way. We can use this for like making dado cuts and such. To make blade changing easier, Bosch added this finger-operated lever that locks the arbor. While we're looking down into the throat, notice the shroud that encloses the lower portion of the blade. The shroud helps direct the dust to the exit port, plus surrounds the blade and follows the blade through height and bevel changes to maximize the effectiveness of a shop vac or dust collector that's hooked to the port. The rib fence that comes with the Bosch 4100 is based on a T-square style fence. It has a nice solid arm and it clamps on both ends with one handle. Flip this down, both ends grip the table. The clamping pressure between the fence and its rails is adjustable by turning this knob on the back end. The digital measurement display adds a lot of accuracy to the Bosch 4100. The units button lets you cycle through different numbering formats that might make it easier to read for some people in different situations. Right now it's in the 1/32 of an inch resolution. Push it once and goes to a 1/16 inch. This is a decimal on the inch range. And this is the decimal in the metric range. Wherever the fence is at the moment, you can use the units button to try and fine-tune the setting. Like if we wanted a 2.5 inch, we can see we're just 0.03 off, and that lets us dial it right in. Despite all the nice features on the Bosch 4100, what remains important to woodworkers is how it cuts wood, and it does that very well. If you're looking for a table saw and space and mobility are issues, consider the Bosch 4100. This is a tried and true platform, and with the new features is better yet. This saw has been very popular with woodworkers that have small shop spaces or work in a shared space where you have to move the equipment at the end of the day. In either case, the Bosch 4100 solves those problems and handles the woodworking chores very well.